Alright, so I happen to have the extra set of lights for my car, and since some people have never tackled changing out lights like this before, I figured I would take the opportunity, since I have them out of the car, since they're not the new lights aren't installed yet, to show you exactly what you're going to be looking at. So of course you have your BROVIEW V-Series V8 LED headlight. This is the box. You have a little product manual here. This little piece of paper, like plastic white paper insert, was laying in there with it. You do have a small Allen wrench that you may or may not need, and you have your driver or ballast, however you want to call it that. This particular unit uses a flat power cord type design, and you plug this together, screw this down, makes a nice tight seal, and you take this other end and you plug it into your headlight just like that. Nothing major going on there. This is the actual unit already mounted. You can't really tell this headlight, you can't really see it on the inside, but it's very secure in there, and that's basically just a very simple process. You take these little 3 wings, stick it in, twist it, and it locks it into place. This has a little cooling area back here. So, like I said, since I had the unique opportunity to have the lights out of the car, and since it's a tight confined space, I kind of wanted to give an idea of what you'd be looking at in case you've never tackled such a situation before. So that is basically the ease of installation, is stick it in and twist, and you just get the little pieces lined up with the little wings, and it locks it into place. So we'll take a look at what it looks like actually installed in the car. But I wanted to, like I say, give an opportunity, since I had these lights that are going in the car, to show a little closer up, something I normally wouldn't be able to get a view of with the actual installation process as well. Just to add a little bit of extra help along the way for those who've never done it. Okay, so pretty cool. Let's see what it looks like in the car, compare it to the HID kit that I've already got, and we'll go from there. Thanks. Okay, so taking a look at the LED light compared to the HIDs I have installed currently. Driver's side, or the left hand side of the video currently, is the LED lights that we're looking at, and on the right hand side we have a 4300K 35 watt HID setup. So this is try to give you an idea. The HID seems to put light further on down the road. It's not as easily detectable, I don't believe, on camera because of the auto compensation, white balances and such, but in person I could definitely see it reaching further on the passenger side as opposed to the driver's side. So let's take a look at it. Alright, so you can see it's pretty intensely bright, and it actually is a much nicer light, brighter to look at. So that's actually really nice in that regard. But the usefulness of it, of course, is going to be a little bit less. I definitely love the bright white color, though. Surprisingly, not as blue as I would have expected. It seems, a lot of times when you get into the higher 4300 is a pure white. Beyond that, it gets to be somewhat blue. So, as I try to shade some of the LED light, you can see more so HID is the primary source of light currently. And if I move over here, try to shadow some of the HID light. So I don't know if that really helps. Like I said, with the camera it's a little harder to pick it up, but there is a fan on the unit. It does have the attachment point, as you saw, so it's 2 cables that attach. They fit one way only, they fit very securely, and it clips into place as expected. Sometimes with HIDs, LEDs, you have to flip that clip. This isn't the case with this unit, so that's cool. My only concerns would be what happens to the LED in the event that the cooling fan fails at some point. I don't know how long that would take before that might be possible. This is a very small car with a very hot engine bay, especially because of the turbo, and that means to me the potential is higher for failure, especially if you have it installed closer to the turbo, which would be on the passenger side. But this is a comparison right now. Upgrading from stock to this is great, but replacing an HID kit with it may or may not be something you want to do. It's nicer for installation, so I like it a great deal because it's a quick, easy installation as opposed to the HID kit that I'm using. And obviously, I said it does look very good. It does put out a considerable amount of light, and it is relatively more impressive than some of the other LED lighting kits out there. So I'm actually pretty shocked by that. It may end up going into use with this vehicle, but probably it'll end up on another car like this. I have another HID kit I'll most likely switch to, simply because I feel like it's a little more usable and it does give me a little further reach as far as the distance the light outputs. Although it looks great looking at the car, and it does actually put out a considerable amount of light in front of the car, I think the HID has a little better performance in terms of going further down the road. So real quick, that is the high beam and low beam. Not a huge difference. This is a single bulb setup with a flap basically that moves up and down, and that's how you control the actual high beam, low beam. As you can see on the dash, there's no errors. Of course, the door's open, the emergency brake is on. This is a manual car, and the seatbelt is not on, and the headlight light is illuminated for the headlights to be on, but there's no errors or anything else, so that is a great aspect. Sometimes with LEDs you do get some issues because of the low resistance, and you require additional resistors. This kit, you just plug it up, go. You can tuck everything inside the housing relatively easily because it is somewhat small, but there is a sufficient amount of cable and wiring that you can deal with moving around and things, and then you can put the cap back on with this particular light. So other than that, I don't have a whole lot else to say. It's pretty on par with some of the other LED kits I've looked at, maybe a little bit brighter. I feel like it is a little bit brighter, and it might have just a little bit more reach than the others. So overall, very easy to install, very impressive, and yeah, I guess that's about it. Yeah, thank you.